Why do some men dine with kings while others grovel for scraps at their table? The difference, dear viewer, is not birth, fortune, or even talent. It is knowledge. Knowledge of the 13 immutable laws that govern the ascent to power. Laws I discovered through decades of observing princes, merchants, and courtiers in the treacherous courts of Renaissance Italy. You wonder how to breach the fortress walls that protect the powerful, how to transform yourself from supplicant to confidant. Today, I shall reveal the very mechanisms by which ambitious souls climb the ladder of influence, using strategies so potent they have toppled dynasties and created empires. In every era, from the courts of Florence to today's boardrooms, powerful individuals behave the same. They guard access, they reward usefulness, they elevate the strategic, and crush the naive. Niccolo Machiavelli understood that influence is not granted. It is constructed brick by brick through deliberate social maneuvering. In this video, you will learn Machiavelli's 13 laws for social climbing condensed into 6 master keynotes. Laws that will allow you to enter rooms you were never invited to, form alliances that move your life forward, and create the kind of connections that ordinary people never gain in a lifetime. In the pursuit of power, most people fail before they even begin because they approach the powerful with the mindset of a beggar. They think introductions, compliments, and friendliness are enough to earn attention. But Machiavelli warned centuries ago that rulers, elites, and influential individuals do not grant access out of generosity. They connect only with people who can reinforce their power. And this is where the ascent truly begins. Not with your name, not with your personality, but with your value. You must understand that the world of power operates like a marketplace. Everyone is trading something: status, influence, information, skills, alliances. The question is not whether a powerful person will like you. The question is whether you can become useful. People at the top constantly evaluate those around them. They ask one silent, unforgiving question: what do you bring that I cannot get elsewhere? Most fail to answer it. They bring needs, not value. They bring admiration, not utility. They bring dependence, not strength. If you wish to connect with powerful people, your first task is to reshape the way you see yourself. Do not approach with empty hands. Do not approach with hopes of being noticed for your kindness, charm, or good intentions. Approach with an asset, something rare, something sharp, something that makes you a strategic advantage in their world. It might be knowledge they do not have access to. It might be a skill they personally lack. It might be connections, discipline, or the ability to solve a problem they do not have time to deal with. When you walk toward power-carrying value, you are not a stranger seeking approval. You are an opportunity. Machiavelli often wrote that princes reward those who strengthen the state, not those who seek comfort. This principle remains unchanged today. A powerful person does not elevate you because you deserve a chance. They elevate you because your presence improves their life, their image, or their influence. The moment you internalize this law, your entire social strategy transforms. Instead of waiting to be chosen, you engineer your rise by becoming indispensable. Imagine approaching someone important and knowing that your presence solves a problem they haven't even addressed. Imagine being the person who brings clarity where others bring confusion, who brings discipline where others bring excuses, who brings ambition where others bring dependency. That is how you become unavoidable. That is how you shift from being another face in the crowd to becoming someone the powerful remember, respect, and eventually rely on. And the truth is this: powerful people are constantly surrounded by takers. They are accustomed to individuals who drain their time, who seek shortcuts, who beg for mentorship, who want to be lifted without lifting themselves. When you arrive different, when you arrive as someone who contributes instead of consumes, you separate yourself instantly. They see you as rare. They see you as someone worth keeping close. They see you as a piece of the machinery that keeps their influence alive. Your value becomes your passport. It becomes the key that opens rooms others never step into. It becomes your silent introduction before you even speak. The moment you choose to develop something undeniable within yourself, something the powerful instinctively want nearby, you shift from chasing connections to attracting them. Most people sabotage their rise toward power because they move with the energy of desperation. They chase attention, they force interactions, they try to impress too quickly, and they reveal their hunger before they reveal their value. But Machiavelli understood something most never grasp. The powerful do not fear aggression, they fear neediness. Desperation is the scent of a sinking man, and the powerful instinctively reject anyone who carries it. The more you push for connection, the more they pull away. Yet if you remain invisible, if you stay tucked in the shadows hoping someone will notice your potential, you remain forgotten. The game, therefore, is to appear without chasing, to be noticed without begging, to be present without being obvious. This is where the art of positioning begins. Before a word is spoken, before a handshake is exchanged, you must engineer your presence in the environments where powerful people naturally exist. Not by barging in loudly, not by announcing your arrival, but by placing yourself strategically, quietly, intelligently. People at the top spend time in rooms where ambition flows in the air. Your task is to enter these spaces, not as a fan, not as a follower, but as someone who belongs to the current of upward movement. When you show up consistently in the right places, familiarity begins to build. The powerful see you, not as an intruder, but as part of the environment. And very slowly, without you saying a single word, the dynamic shifts. Curiosity forms. They wonder who you are. They notice your confidence, your composed body language, the way you carry yourself. You are not loud, but you are unmistakably there. You are not overeager, but you are undeniably intentional. Machiavelli wrote that influence grows through perception, long before it grows through action. Your presence alone must communicate that you are someone who stands on your own feet. Someone who is not desperate for validation, someone who moves with quiet certainty. The powerful are drawn to those who possess their own internal gravity. They avoid those who orbit around them with open palms. And when the moment comes for interaction, you must treat the encounter differently from the way ordinary people do. Do not rush into conversation. Do not flood the air with your life story. Let interaction unfold slowly, naturally, as if you are not seeking anything at all. The less you try to impress, the more impressive you appear. The less you chase, the more they lean in. This creates a psychological tension, a subtle pull that works in your favor. They begin to see you as someone who doesn't need attention but earns it. Powerful people are accustomed to being targeted by opportunists. When you show them a demeanor that is calm, patient, and steady, they sense that you are not another burden. You are not someone who seeks emotional validation, not someone who will drain their mental space. You stand apart. They see a person who respects themselves enough not to beg for connection, who understands their worth beyond social approval. This is how the shift begins. You do not force a place in their world, you allow them to invite you into it, and the invitation only arrives when they feel the connection was their choice, not your pursuit. You become a presence rather than a pressure, a curiosity rather than a request, a person who enters their awareness without demanding anything from it. When you step into the orbit of powerful people, you must understand one truth that most individuals never realize. You are entering a world that does not operate by the rules of ordinary life. Powerful individuals live inside a psychological universe shaped by ambition, competition, influence, and control. Their conversations are different, their priorities are different, their concerns are different. And if you bring the mindset of an average person into their environment, you immediately expose yourself as someone who does not belong. Machiavelli knew this well, which is why he advised courtiers to adapt themselves to the temperament and ambitions of the prince. To connect with powerful people, you must learn to mirror their world rather than forcing them to enter yours. Most people try to bond through personal stories, casual jokes, or emotional oversharing, but these approaches signal smallness. They communicate insecurity. They reveal that your center of gravity is weak. Powerful individuals do not seek emotional companionship, they seek psychological alignment. They do not want to hear about your personal problems, your frustrations, or your anxieties. They want to hear thinking that reflects their level of vision. They want conversations that elevate, not conversations that drain. This is where strategic mirroring begins. When you interact with someone powerful, listen carefully to the subjects they naturally gravitate toward, their ambitions, their projects, their challenges, their long-term goals, their strategic concerns. Do not interrupt with details about your day or your personal victories. Do not try to impress with random facts or irrelevant experiences. Instead, align yourself with the direction of their focus. If they speak about growth, speak about possibilities. If they speak about discipline, speak about improvement. If they speak about big plans, speak about structure, momentum, or optimization. You are not copying them, you are synchronizing with their mental frequency. Machiavelli wrote that a wise advisor must reflect the prince's interests back to him in a way that strengthens his confidence. This principle is just as relevant today. People connect fastest with those who reflect their identity. When a powerful person feels that you understand their world, not superficially but deeply, they begin to lower their guard. They feel recognized. They feel respected. They feel psychologically safe. And safety, more than intelligence or humor or charm, is what opens the door to real connection. But this mirroring goes beyond words. It lives in your tone, your posture, your emotional state. If they speak with calm intensity, do not respond with scattered enthusiasm. If they think in long-term horizons, do not talk in short-term impulses. If they value precision, do not offer vague statements. If they move with discipline, do not show laziness or chaos. Every detail of your presence must signal that you do not merely admire their world, you belong inside it. And the more alignment you demonstrate, the more they begin to treat you differently. Not as a stranger, not as a fan, as someone who understands the weight and responsibility of power, as someone capable of navigating serious rooms, as someone worthy of deeper conversations, private insights, and eventually, trust. Because once they accept the idea that you belong in their environment, your connection with them shifts from accidental to intentional, from casual to strategic, from temporary to influential. In the presence of powerful people, most individuals destroy their chances without even realizing it. They talk too much. They reveal too much. They try too hard to prove their intelligence, their experiences, their worth. And in their eagerness to be accepted, they expose the very weaknesses that make the powerful dismiss them. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. He warned that the moment a person speaks freely, they reveal their desires, their fears, their insecurities, and their limits. But the one who listens, the one who observes, the one who speaks only with purpose, controls the room without commanding it. Silence is not the absence of speech. Silence is a strategy. It is a form of power that most people underestimate. When you speak less, you give the impression that your thoughts are deeper than your words. You create a tension around your presence. You make others wonder what you're thinking. You force them to project their own ideas onto you. And in the world of influence, that mystery is priceless. Powerful people are accustomed to being surrounded by noise. Everyone wants to talk to them, impress them, entertain them, or gain something from them. Their daily life is filled with voices competing for their attention. When you show up differently, when you show up with composure, with restraint, with calm, you become a break in that pattern. You become refreshing. You become intriguing. And slowly they begin to see you not as another distraction, but as someone who brings clarity simply by existing. Your silence does something extraordinary. It shifts the psychological balance of power, because the one who talks the least has the most control. While others are busy proving themselves, you are studying the field. You are catching details they miss. You are reading intentions, motives, rivalries, weaknesses. You are collecting information that becomes leverage. You are positioning yourself without making a sound. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler must know more than he reveals and reveal less than he thinks. This is not just advice for leaders, it is a strategy for anyone trying to rise. When you speak, select your words with precision, make them meaningful, make them deliberate. The less often you speak, the more power each sentence carries. People will lean in to hear you. They will treat your voice as valuable. They will begin to assume that your silence means mastery, not insecurity. And something else happens when you learn to control your voice. Powerful people feel safe around you. They see that you are not impulsive. You do not gossip. You do not complain. You do not overshare. You do not rush to fill the air with nervous noise. They sense that you are someone who listens, someone who processes, someone who can be trusted with information. And trust is the rarest currency in the world of influence. In time, your silence turns into a kind of quiet authority. People seek your input. They ask for your perspective. They respect the weight of your observations. You do not have to dominate the room with volume, you dominate the room with presence. And while others exhaust themselves trying to be noticed, you rise because you have mastered the one thing they fear the most, the discipline to observe more than you reveal. When you enter the realm of powerful individuals, you will quickly learn a truth that most people never accept. Power does not reveal itself in grand displays or loud declarations. Power reveals itself through the subtle ability to influence outcomes without appearing responsible for them. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. He taught that the most dangerous kind of influence is the influence that cannot be traced back to you. And if you wish to climb socially, if you wish to connect with those who command authority, you must master the art of being the force behind the curtain rather than the spectacle on the stage. Most people try to position themselves by taking credit, by showcasing their achievements, by making sure others know what they contributed. But in elite circles, this strategy backfires. The powerful dislike individuals who compete for attention. They distrust those who constantly push their accomplishments forward. They prefer those who make things happen quietly, invisibly, effectively. If you want to rise, you must become the kind of person who strengthens others without demanding recognition, who guides decisions without insisting on acknowledgement, who helps a powerful person win without ever threatening their spotlight. The moment you remove the need for credit from your identity, you become an asset rather than a rival. The powerful begin to see you as someone who amplifies their influence, not someone who steals from it. And once they sense this, their guard lowers. They begin to involve you in deeper matters, in hidden challenges, in confidential decisions. They trust you because you do not hunger for their throne, you support the stability of their throne. You make yourself invaluable by disappearing from the narrative while shaping it from the inside. Machiavelli wrote that the advisor who seeks fame becomes dangerous to the prince, but the advisor who seeks effectiveness becomes indispensable. This is the psychology that governs all elite relationships. When you help a powerful person succeed publicly while you work invisibly, they begin to depend on you. They begin to consult you. They begin to see you as the mind behind their moves, the architect of their solutions, the quiet strategist who understands the game with clarity others lack. And something subtle begins to happen. Your influence grows not because you push, but because they pull you closer. You become part of their inner circle, not through force but through value. You become the person they confide in when the room empties. The person they ask for truth when everyone else flatters them. The person they rely on when consequences are high and they need someone who will not betray them. This is influence at its purest form. But you must also understand the deeper psychological advantage of remaining in the background. When your influence is invisible, it is almost impossible to attack. Rivals cannot undermine you because they cannot see your hand. Enemies cannot remove you because they cannot identify your power. You move silently, shaping outcomes while appearing uninvolved. You become untouchable because you are unseen. You become respected because your results speak louder than your presence. And in the eyes of the powerful, there is nothing more valuable than a person who can solve problems, steady chaos, and guide strategy without ever demanding the crown or the credit. There comes a moment in every climb toward influence when you must face the most uncomfortable truth of all. Powerful people do not connect with those who move emotionally. They connect with those who move strategically. If you want to build relationships at the top, you must master the discipline of emotional neutrality. Because in elite circles, the moment you react impulsively, the moment you take things personally, the moment you allow your feelings to dictate your decisions, you reveal that you are not built for power. Machiavelli warned that rulers must never allow passion to cloud judgment. Passion is the weapon of the weak. Calculation is the armor of the strong. When you interact with influential individuals, you will encounter arrogance, indifference, dominance, and tests. Powerful people rarely accept newcomers without probing them first. They will challenge your confidence, question your intentions, and push your boundaries. Not out of cruelty, but out of instinct. They are filtering. They are assessing. They want to know whether you can withstand pressure without breaking into emotion. They observe the way you respond to criticism, unpredictability, small insults, or dismissive behavior. If you respond emotionally, they categorize you instantly. Too reactive, too fragile, too unstable. But if you remain composed, if you stay focused on the larger strategy instead of the momentary discomfort, they take notice. They see a person who can handle tension, a person who understands the game. Emotional control does not mean pretending to have no feelings. It means never allowing those feelings to dictate the direction of your ambition. It means understanding that in the world of power, every reaction is a message, and every message shapes how others calculate your value. If you stay calm when others lose composure, you elevate yourself. If you remain stable when the room becomes chaotic, you become the anchor. If you respond with logic rather than irritation, you project authority. The powerful gravitate toward those who help them feel grounded, not those who bring more noise. Machiavelli often wrote that a leader must be like a sculptor, unmoved by the stone he strikes, focused only on the shape he intends to create. This same discipline applies to you. Every conversation, every interaction, every disagreement is an opportunity to demonstrate that you are not ruled by impulse. When you pause before responding, when you observe before speaking, when you think before reacting, the dynamic around you shifts. People begin to measure their words more carefully. They sense that you cannot be easily manipulated through provocation, and this alone makes you powerful. The more emotionally neutral you become, the more predictable you appear to the powerful, but in a way that comforts them. They know you will not explode, panic, gossip, or crumble under tension. They know you will not turn minor issues into dramatic storms. You become someone they can rely on when stakes are high and emotions run wild. Leaders seek allies who bring stability, not volatility. They trust those who remain steady in moments of uncertainty. And there is another advantage, one Machiavelli understood well. Emotional neutrality gives you access to information others miss. When you are not busy reacting, you can listen. When you are not offended, you can observe. When you are not caught up in ego battles, you can analyze the true motives behind people's actions. Your clarity becomes your weapon. Your calm becomes your shield. Your detachment becomes your advantage. And as you rise through circles of influence, this discipline becomes your silent signature. People recognize you as the one who never cracks, never rushes, never reveals too much, never takes insults personally, never allows anyone to dictate your emotional state. You become the rare figure who thinks clearly when others drown in their feelings. And in a world driven by power, the rare one is always the one who rises. In the end, the climb toward powerful people is not a journey of charm, luck, or blind ambition. It is a deliberate transformation of who you are and how you move through the world. The weak try to force their way into elite circles. The desperate chase attention. The insecure talk endlessly. The emotional expose themselves without meaning to. But you, if you choose to rise, you must move with a different code. You position yourself without begging. You mirror the ambitions of those above you. You speak less and observe more. You influence quietly instead of seeking applause. You remain emotionally neutral, even under pressure, even when tested, even when tempted to react. This is the architecture of social ascent that Machiavelli understood better than anyone. Power is not granted to those who crave it openly. It gravitates toward those who demonstrate poise, strategy, and self-control. And once you begin to master these laws, something subtle yet profound starts to happen. You stop chasing powerful people, and they start noticing you. You stop trying to enter their world, and they begin inviting you into it. You stop trying to prove your value, and your value becomes undeniable, because true influence is not loud. It is not frantic. It is not emotional. True influence is quiet, deliberate, intentional, and rooted in a mind that understands human nature at its core. And once you master that, doors that once seemed locked will open effortlessly. Rooms you thought were unreachable will become familiar. People you once admired from a distance will begin to admire you. This is how you rise in a world built on power. Not by force, not by noise, by strategy, by presence, and by mastering the very psychology that governs the powerful themselves.